if anyone makes fun of me for being bald, will you slap them to defend my honour?
Yes. Someone says something about shaving your head.
Good.
Slap some sense back. Slap them into next Tuesday for you.
BRB UK. Worse teeth, better accents.
Hello, and indeed a podcast, because that's what we're doing. It's a podcast. It's BRB UK episode 484. I am your host for this week. I'm Coleman. Hi.
Hi.
And with me this week is Mr. Timothy Kenneth James Hibbs, who loves being called by his full name. Don't you, Tim?
No.
He does. No Dan this week. He got emergency called off to work. What is a Dan work emergency? Who can say? Something to do with the Traveller being attacked by the Cabal, I assume. I know this is an old Destiny storyline, but I've not been keeping up to date.
We think he's on a raid, basically, yeah? That's the emergency.
He's on a raid.
Emergency raid.
I forgot to come up with an excuse, because last time it was Bongo Mags in the forest, so I need to write excuses for whenever Dan's off.
Okay. We'll have to come up with a more solid excuse.
Yes. Tim, we need to talk about all the things that have happened this week. Well, the big things anyway. But before we do that, before we talk about the games we done played, I need to tell you, Tim, Squeenix.
Yeah? What?
They done broke my game.
What? Is it no longer about
They done
Chaos?
broke my game, Tim.
Have they cancelled Chaos?
Not that game.
Chaos cancelled?
No, not that game.
Okay. That game's still fine. Chaos is okay.
Chaos is still,
Chaotic.
he's still alive, well and kicking. It's fine. Chaos is fine.
Okay.
Avengers.
Ah!
Squeenix killed me, Avengers.
What do you mean they killed it?
They did what Thanos couldn't.
Did they finger snap you? Half of the Avengers disappeared.
I went to go play Avengers, and there was this huge update to say, hey, we've done a bunch of new improvements, and we've done some path explanations and things with the war room and all this kind of stuff to welcome new players. And I thought, let's check that out. And it's meant to have got rid of some of the more pointless missions that take too long to do chains on and simplified them a bit. So I wanted to check that out.
So did it remove all the missions?
I loaded it up.
Just took out all the pointless missions?
No, not all the
now
missions.
There's no game.
Just the irritating ones.
Okay.
So I loaded it up. And then straight away, it goes through a couple of tutorial videos. It's like, well, I know how to do this. That's fine. I'll skip all that. And then went to the war room on the helicarrier. And then Nick Fury's back. So Nick Fury pops up to start talking. And then all of a sudden, it just crashed. It blue screened on me. And I thought, well, that's annoying. I'll start that up again. And the same thing happened again. And would you believe it? I mean, because the PlayStation 5 tends to load games a bit faster than the PS4 did, I thought I'd try it a few times. I got through 5 times of the game crashing on
PS5
startup.
times.
Yes, looked it up. Apparently, this is a very common issue with the PlayStation 5. A lot of people having this problem. There isn't a fix at the moment. I mean, there's a workaround, but it's not one that I care to implement, because the workaround is delete your story progress.
Don't do that, Coleman. You've progressed all the story. I mean, is it just me? Like, there seems to be and I was going to write about this, but I haven't had time to write anything for a while. I was going to write about a few things for the blog and try and get the blog going again, but I haven't had time because of life. But it does seem to me that a lot of people, like mainstream press and everyone else in general, isn't talking about all the problems that are with the PS5. I mean, I know everyone really highly desirably wants a PS5, but we did mention that there's a number of problems before, and I do think they've patched out some of the bigger problems that no one talked about before they patched out that we mentioned on the show before. So I won't go back into that. But there's still a number of massive problems, considering the PS5 is the biggest... Okay, probably you would say that the pre-existing install base for the PS4 and probably the Xbox One is probably still... There's probably more players on that ecosystem than there is on the PS5 at the moment. But it is the biggest selling platform for the next gen. And there are a number of problems with every major release. I mean, we're possibly coming on to GT7 and then balking the whole economy on that in a minute as well. But it's not just like their own big party games as well. Like, this is something that I hadn't even heard about. I haven't seen anyone talking about that. Maybe it's because you're the last person left playing Avengers, possibly. That's possibly the case. But there's a number of problems, like Elden Ring. Like, I don't know if it's been patched in more recent updates, but at launch, and as far as I know up to this point, Elden Ring, you have to quit out the game every time. Otherwise, there's a very serious bug in that can mess up your whole game save.
That apparently that I think that got patched in the first. Yeah, that got patched in the first week of its launch. However, they do recommend not just the PlayStation, like you should quit out when you finished and not put it in rest mode because it's meant to be an ongoing game and it messes it up.
But rest mode is already...
But I don't think it corrupts your save anymore.
Yeah, but rest mode on PS5 has caused a number of those sorts of problems with games at launch. Like, it's already not doing as much as quick resume. The quick resume function is on Xbox, and it doesn't so it's only you can only really switch between two games at once, and it's not doing that very well. Like, there is causing a number of problems, and that's not the only problem on the PS5 at the moment. Like, I don't get why this isn't a bigger thing that more people are talking about. I don't know if I'm just missing other people talking about, but I listen to a lot of podcasts and keep an eye on a lot of sites, and I'm not seeing anyone really pushing that narrative at the moment, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I've spoken about issues with the PS. I mean, you have as well. We've had problems with the whole thing of starting it up and then it comes up with a restart in safe mode and all that kind of stuff. I had it to a point where it got so bad that I had to completely reinstall the operating system. I've upgraded to a second. I mean, the USB drive I have. When the USB drive's connected and I'm playing games off that, sometimes if that goes in rest mode, it will just go, hey, there's a problem with your USB drive. Yeah. I've got to completely shut down your system and start it up again and scan it and all this kind of stuff. And then since I put the second M2 drive in, they do warn you about this in fairness, but there's cases where I'll play games off the M2 drive and like WWE 2K22, I've been playing that off the M2 drive. And if I put it in rest mode and start it up, sometimes it'll be fine. Sometimes it will completely restart the entire game. Sometimes it will go, hey, that pre-order DLC that you got, it doesn't exist anymore. And because it's pre-order DLC and not regular DLC, you can't just go on the marketplace and find it again.
Right, yeah.
It just registers as it doesn't exist. And therefore, it wants to wipe all your save data and start again. So I've had to completely uninstall it and then put it back on the original hard drive. So there are instances like that, but they did say there might be issues using the M2 slot. But yeah, there have been a lot of problems with PS5 for me.
That doesn't seem like that's good enough. It doesn't seem like it's being like the problems with like a game like Elden Ring that should be spotted before launch, as far as I'm concerned. And not blaming necessarily the Elden Ring devs, I'm blaming PlayStation there. Like, that's something that they should be doing a better job of catching these things prior to release and people not messing up and having their game data saved.
No, I think that one's a FromSoft issue in testing.
Right, okay, but like stuff with that you're describing there, that definitely should be something that Sony's like doing a better job of.
Oh yeah, when stuff happens like the hard drive's not reading correctly, or it's coming up with black screens, or when you start up your console, all this kind of stuff. You can look on Sony and you can ask for help, but it's not outlined. It's not outlined on their website. You've got to go to their service. Your best bet is, I mean, a lot of the issues that I've had, I found the answers just looking on Twitter at other people that have had these problems and linking to fan forums and stuff. So it's that weird Bethesda thing where Bethesda releases a broken game and then it's up to the fans to patch it out with mods.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. The fans find the solutions and go, okay, there's going to be problems with your PlayStation. This is how you fix them. And unfortunately, and I don't know if it's because my girlfriend's got the digital version. Not a problem. Not a problem with that thing.
That's odd.
My one is the disc version. Always the problems. So I don't know if there's something to do with the optical media and if they initially intended not to have a disc version.
Does she have external hard drives connected to it as well? Yeah, okay, so it's not that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
same as mine.
Okay, that's
mirrored it.
Yeah, very odd. No, I mean, and like, okay, I think, as I said, that Sony should be doing a better job of catching some of these things and stopping them coming to consoles in general. I don't know if it's just they're so keen to get like the hard drive stuff out to the public and stuff that they're not doing an effective enough job on this, or if COVID's making that more difficult to test somehow. I don't know, but I just feel that they're letting the side down a little bit there, and that's not really good enough. But then also, I don't understand why, as you say, they're common problems. You can find You can find them on forums, you can find them on Twitter and all that type of stuff. But why is no one talking about this from like some of the more major websites? Why isn't the stuff about this going? I don't know if people can point me in the direction of things I missed, but I'm just not seeing it talked about on other podcasts or not seeing it discussed on other websites.
I spoke about my issues, and then when it'd been a while, and then when you started talking about your issues, I completely forgot I had the same problem until like 2 weeks later. And oh yeah, wait, I had really bad problems with this. I was complaining about this. Anyway, the point I was trying to get is, Squeenix, you done broke my game. Go fix it. I'm not deleting my progress. You sort it out.
Like,
getting dangerously close to not playing Avengers anymore, and I'm 2 trophies away from getting the platinum.
It also seems really short-sighted to ruin your enjoyment of the game to try and onboard people when, like, who's starting Avengers now and going, oh yeah, I'll get around to this now. This is a good time to jump on Avengers. Like, they're better off just not picking off the people that are already playing it than they are trying to, breaking the game to try and encourage new players that probably aren't going to be there anyway. Dumb people.
Yeah. I tell you, they are getting this close to alienating their only player in me. I really like that game. I wish it was not broken. That really upset me. I just thought, I'm going to pop in and that's the weird thing as well, because if you look at, when you go on a PlayStation 5 game on the dashboard, and it will, below there'll be like news, and it's usually the DLCs and things. I go, oh, the good news, this is it. They used to do that with the store on Avengers. They go, oh, good news, the end game armor for Thor is available, that kind of stuff. And you go, ooh. And then I booted up the game, and there's all the Spider-Man costumes and all this kind of stuff that's been added to the store. But the last update was from about 6 months ago on the store. They've completely given up on doing PR announcements. They just seem to drop them and not tell anyone, unless it's on the Twitter or something. So I don't know what's going on over at Avengers HQ. Not good things, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's a shame because I really like that game, and now I can't play it, and I refuse. I'm not deleting my bloody progress.
I could say you might find it's hard to make updates to the game when half of the staff have probably been snapped out of existence, basically. But hey.
Maybe. Unfortunately, yeah. Anywho, something more relevant that I've been playing, more up to date that I've been playing. I'll start off with Ghostwire Tokyo, because this is one that I have completely done a 180 on this game. And initially they announced this at the PlayStation 5 reveal, and I saw that and I went, "Ooh, horror game, okay." From the Evil Within guys, okay, yeah, I'll give that one a go. And then as more and more videos were shown about this game, it looked less like a horror game and more like this weird, mad, neon Japanese action game that just happens to have ghosts in it. And then I went, well, that's not what I wanted. But then as more time passes and the delays happen, and I start seeing this game more, and I go, do I want this? Actually, this looks fun and interesting and mad. And I do like a bit of mad when it comes to my games. So if you don't know, Ghostwire Tokyo, this is from Tango Gameworks, published by Bethesda Softworks, which initially this was going to be a PlayStation exclusive. However, Bethesda, they've been bought by their Microsoft. So they are technically a Xbox first-party studio now. So this has a timed exclusivity for PlayStation for about a year, and then, 1 year exactly, and then you'll most likely see it over on Game Pass. Mm-hmm. So for the time it is now on PlayStation, I've picked this up, and I really, really enjoy this. And I was kind of hesitant on picking it up just before it came out, because a lot of reviewers seem to be not exactly slating it, but going, it's a bit disappointing. It's a bit run of the mill, and I don't know if that's a lot of people that were expecting something more on par with the Evil Within, or maybe something more on par with the recent PlayStation 5 to Xbox exclusive Deathloop. But this ain't that. This is a first person kind of. It's like a shooter, but it's not a shooter, and it's not a horror game. It's more a action game with eerie horror elements. Yeah. So it's more, it's unnerving, unsettling, but not really, except for the odd couple of jump scares in the tutorial at the start. It's not a scary game. Anyway, so the whole basis of this game, as you may guess from the title being Ghostwire Tokyo, this is set in Tokyo, in Japan.
It's no Tokyo
And
jungle,
this
though,
takes
is it?
place,
Really, that's my problem with it.
No,
But
you play a character who has been possessed by a spirit, and what's happened is that this character that you play, they've had a motorcycle accident, I believe it is, so they're close to death, and that gives the spirit a chance to possess their body. As this is happening, there's some big evil thing happening where another kind of demon character has unleashed this fog over Tokyo that has caused a type of rapture. So any living inhabitant has just been turned into their spirit form has been removed from their body has disappeared, and then they're floating off into the sky, and then they're being captured in these cubes for whatever reason. Yeah. Meanwhile, your character that had a motorcycle accident. The reason he had a motorcycle accident was because he was on the way to hospital to see his sister, who is also dying of cancer, I believe it is.
Oh.
So they also haven't been able to be raptured because they are close to death as well. And the main bad, who's the kind of the weird skeleton mask character that you see on the front cover of the game, they've kidnapped your sister. So you, being a possessed body with these new powers from this spirit that has possessed you, are off on a mission to go and save
with
the
some
girl,
funky
and
hand
also
gestures.
With funky hand gestures, spells, and also, sorry, I keep looking over because there's a blizzard going on outside my window, and it was so sunny a minute ago, and then all of a sudden I just noticed like it's a little bit of snow, and now it's just bucketing down from
today's
nowhere.
been crazy. It's been sunshine one minute, snow the next. Our weather may be possessed by some sort of Japanese spirit. Yeah, who knows?
That's exactly what happened. There's a rapture that's happening. Anyway, yeah, so that's the crux of the game. You're off on a mission to save your sister and also figure out why the hell, what's going on. Why has everyone been raptured? But also, there aren't just spirits that have been raptured away. They're just kind of floating in the ether, waiting to be kidnapped. So you can rescue those spirits as well. So there's a lot of running around Shibuya, I think it is, that district of Tokyo. I don't know Tokyo that well. Never been. Hopefully one day. So you're running around a Shibuya district the whole time. Everything's very Japanese looking, and there's lots of like music playing out of karaoke bars that are just left there, and there's shrines and things about, and everything's raining and neon and well lit. And
that's one thing I have seen
really
the game praised for, is the fact that it does do a very good job of representing Japanese culture and recreating a Japanese district in a video game, basically. Like that's something I've seen that everyone seems to agree on that, and also seems to agree that it's a nice graphical style in the presentation of things, basically.
Yeah, and it's a very good looking game, and one of the decisions they made is to constantly make it rain as well. So it's always nighttime and it's raining. And the raining is a really good idea because it adds to that kind of eeriness with the fog effects and the ghosts or monsters and things all knocking about. But also it leaves puddles and ray tracing and light reflecting out the puddle. So all that stuff looks really, really cool. The game itself, you're running around doing... So you do have weapons in the game, like you have a bow in this game you find very early on, but also you have powers, spells that you can cast because of the spirit that has inhabited you. And some of those might be like a simple kind of pistol type thing. So you make little hand gestures and fire a projectile at a monster. And other things might be more like a Hadouken type fireball that you can cast as well.
Little fish, big fish, cardboard box. Yeah, is that how it goes?
A little bit like that. Yeah. I'm interested to see what the more powerful hand gestures that you unlock are, because the ones that I've been playing with are so bad. And there's a skill tree to upgrade them and make you fire more and have more kind of... There is an ammo type source, some shards that you have to collect out in the world as well. The main thing you're going to be doing is running around solving mysteries. There'll be side missions.
Scooby-Doo!
Spirits that are... Yeah, Scooby-Doo, this S word. And you got to go around finding... You'll find different ghosts and different spirits, and they might have unfinished business as to why they're stuck on this plane, and you'll go figure out what the hell that is and figure things out for them and solve things and let them pass on. The other part of this is fighting monsters, and you may have seen very Slender Man-looking monsters in this game, being one of the different types of... the main ones you kind of see is these headless schoolgirls that kind of skip towards you and beat you up and throw glowing sickles.
I hate
at
it when
you.
they do that.
And then another one will be the other ones will be kind of Slender Man looking creatures holding wearing suits and holding umbrellas that will sometimes slowly come towards you, and then all of a sudden just start jerkily moving towards you. It's kind of like do you remember the Miles Morales suit in the Spider-Man game where they took it from the Into the Spider-Verse film and they lowered the frame rate of the costume in comparison to the rest of the game? Yeah.
I like that effect.
So they'll be moving normally, then all of a sudden they'll do that low frame rate coming at you thing. It's very eerie.
Yeah,
it's freaky.
Does anyone come out of a TV at you?
Not that I've seen so far. I've seen some very Ringu looking characters with I've seen lots of like creepy kids with fringes and black fringes over their eyes and things. Very Japanese horror looking stuff. Yeah, that's all fun. But yeah, this game, I'm finding it's fun. It's different to anything that I've played this year, and that's why I think I'm enjoying it so much. So yeah, I'm glad I picked this one up. If you can give it a try, I'd say give it a go before actually putting money down on it, because this is a full-priced PlayStation game.
Yeah, that's my problem.
However, if you're willing to wait it out, I can guarantee this will come to Game Pass, because this is a first-party Xbox game when it launches. So
yeah,
you can wait a year.
Kind of helps undervalue or cut the legs out from under a PlayStation exclusive by pretty much making it clear this is going to come to Game Pass next year, basically.
Yeah, I mean that was the same with Deathloop, but Deathloop.
Well, that's why I didn't buy Deathloop.
Sold really, really well.
But yeah,
but it still sold really well regardless. So, and there are PlayStation owners out there that won't have an Xbox, and very staunchly won't be picking one up for fanboy reasons. So this might be worth picking up. And in the same comical way, I remember Twitter being ablaze with these PlayStation fanboys when Deathloop came out and went, yeah, dunking on Xbox with our cool exclusive game. And I'm like, that's ours, right? We just got to wait a year and we'll have it included on Game Pass. So, but yeah, I really rate it.
I have to say I'm really torn. Like I'm kind of down. Like I possibly won't, because I've got enough to keep me busy at the moment anyway. But if it was all things being equal, I would be possibly buying one of the games you're talking about this week. And I'm really not sure which one. And you've confused me even more because you've been a bit more positive on Ghostwire Tokyo than a lot of other reviewers have been as well. But even with people having a bit of a downer on this, I was still kind of interested in it. I still really like the aesthetic and the look of it. And as you say, it's just... the gameplay looks, okay, it's kind of a first-person shooter without shooting, but I kind of like that idea and I kind of want to support it at launch almost kind of thing. But at the same time, yeah, I believe it's 70 quid, is it? Or, there or thereabouts.
I can't remember how much I paid, because...
Could you just throw your money around willy-nilly, making it rain?
No, because I think this is meant to be a £70 release, but I think if you pre-ordered it, like £10 cheaper.
Okay, one of those deals.
If you buy PlayStation credit from external sites, then you get it even cheaper that way and all that kind of stuff. So,
but I'm really torn. I couldn't tell you which one of Ghostwire Tokyo or the next game you're going to talk about I'd be more keen to buy. And they couldn't be more different games. Like they're both kind of Japanese, like in kind of that's the only thing that I'd see would link the two together, but I couldn't tell you which one of these games I'd rather buy. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say about Kirby and the Forgotten Land as well on the Switch, because that might tempt me more. I don't know. I have played the demo for this. Okay,
that's fair enough. So yes, anyway, in conclusion, Ghostwire Tokyo, I really, really like it. But I have a different opinion to what the reviews are. Seemingly majority of reviews aren't. They're either mid to negative. It's just so different. That's probably why I like it so much, because it seems everything's a Soul-like or everything's a shoot 'em up lately. So,
yeah, but it's, as I said, it's hard to sell in an environment where I've got lots of things to keep me busy still, and it's a high price game that I could seemingly get for free if I'm just patient and wait, which I'm not very good at doing when it comes to video games. But yeah.
No, that's fair enough. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Anyway, the one that I wanted to talk about, as you mentioned already, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. And I specifically wanted to tell you about this, Tim. I'm glad you didn't take the week off, because when I was playing this game, I immediately thought, oh, Tim wants this game.
Oh.
Tim wants this game. And it was specifically because after playing it for so long, I went, I'm getting big vibes of Mario Odyssey. And I remember Tim really rated Mario Odyssey when he got into that. So
probably my favorite Mario game. But as I said on a previous show, I'm a bigger fan of Kirby than I am of Mario historically. I always played the old Game Boy games, and I like Kirby games. I didn't play Kirby's Epic Yarn in the end. Just didn't end up picking up because my Wii U was coming to the end of the lifespan type thing. But yeah, I'm very keen. The demo I thought was decent, but it didn't absolutely wow me to the degree that I've seen other reviewers banging on about it. So yeah, fill me in.
Yeah, it opens up. So yes, Kirby and the Forgotten
Suck
Land.
Me Up.
This is a Kirby title. That is if I understand, this is the first 3D Kirby game that doesn't have the 2D style at all. And my own history of Kirby is playing the Game Boy game when I was very young.
Yeah.
And never really coming back to Kirby because I played that one. I went, I got that, and never really went back because it all kind of, every time they visited the same formula, it just looked the same to me. And I enjoyed the first one enough, but I remember it being very easy.
Yes.
As well.
Kirby games always have been a bit easier than Mario games, and possibly why I like them. I don't know, but
yeah, I always assume that they give the appeal. I mean, with the character itself, it looks like it's geared towards a much younger audience.
Yes.
So I think that's why I've never really gelled with the character of Kirby, unless it's in Smash Bros. Then I'm all for Kirby. But anyway, so this is the first jump to 3D, and it's the traditional Kirby game, but done in 3D. And the idea is Kirby has been much like the start of Pokemon. Big warp hole in the sky has sucked Kirby into it and the Waddle Dees, and he's been taken to a new land, the Forgotten Land, if you will, where he has gained a new ability called the mouthful mode, where he can not swallow larger things, but he can fit larger things into his mouth and then gain their abilities. So, for instance, as we saw in the demo, he can put a car in his mouth and then drive around. Or he can put a vending machine in his mouth and then spit out cans.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff.
I liked that in the demo. That both of those things were good. But yeah.
The other thing that Kirby can do, and this is one that's taken from the traditional Kirby games, he can inhale particular characters and absorb their abilities. So if there's a character with a sword and you swallow them, you get a little Link hat and a sword, a little Master Sword, and you can do Link moves. The little sword slash and spin around and all that kind of stuff. If there's a fire one, then you can spit fireballs and all these kind of things. Where it mixes it up is after you've progressed so far into the game, then you can start doing fusion type of mixtures of powers where you can combine powers to start playing around with them, which I won't go too much into.
But like making a flaming sword type thing and that sort of stuff. That sort of idea.
You get the idea.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, very, very Elden Ring. You get a dodge roll as well, so also very Elden Ring. Anywho, it's your standard Kirby affair. You can inflate and float through the air. You can gain powers, and it's a platformer with boss battles and stuff. However, this game, as you start playing it, you go, oh yeah, nice little simple Kirby game. I remember these. They're fun. The further you get into it, it starts really going off the walls and getting much harder as you play along. Like there is and it again, the vibes of Mario Odyssey when you got to the moon level, and it's like, oh, this is starting to get a little bit more challenging than it has been thus far. So there's a lot of that to uncover along the way. Design of the game's really good. The look of the game's really good. Soundtrack and all that stuff, all the stuff you'd expect from something from HAL Laboratories is it's not going to disappoint. But yeah, the game is very fun. And one of the particular things I like is there's a type of little hub home base that you start off with. I think I didn't play the demo, but I'm assuming it's where the opening kind of levels you start on, which once you've finished that level, you can go back to it. It's a little social, well, not social, but a little hub for you to play around in. So as you're playing through the games, you can find Waddle Dees that have been held captive. The more you find, they will return to that initial starting area and they'll build a little Waddle Dee town and they'll start building things around you. So the more you go back and the more Waddle Dees you've rescued, you'll start unlocking mini games. So they'll build like a restaurant, and then you can get a little job in the kitchen doing little mini games and stuff. You can go fishing with the Waddle Dees. You can do little race games with the Waddle Dees. You can do fishing with the Waddle Dees.
Oh.
You can just talk to the Waddle
think you
Dees.
said
You can
fishing
go
already.
fishing with the Waddle
Okay,
Dees.
right. I have a question though, Mr. Coleman. Do you know why
Yeah.
Waddle Dees are called Waddle Dees? Because I don't know if I missed their introduction or I just don't remember it from earlier on. Like, what? It seems like a strange name that everyone's just accepted, and I don't know what the origins of it are. Do we know? I don't know.
I actually don't know.
No.
I just think they look neat.
I mean, I like the characters. I just don't know why they're called what they're called. I mean, I don't know that everyone has an explanation. I mean, Pokemon and Pocket Monsters, that makes sense. Is there an explanation to Waddle Dees? Maybe our readers can go away and let us know. If listeners can let us know. I said the only thing they're not. They're either viewers or listeners. They are not readers. But yeah, maybe they can, if anyone knows, answers on a postcard or, tune into our Discord server or comment on the YouTube video or something. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know where they came from, what that is, what the origin of that is. Yeah.
Fair enough. It's a new can you eat Pokemon type thing for Tim.
The type of thing that possibly only I worry about. But hey.
I'm really happy because there's 2 new games that have fallen into my lap, and they are 2 games that I'm really enjoying. And luckily, one is on the handheld, so I can take it outside, and one is on the main computer, so I can play it inside. So I am covered, whether I'm inside or the house or not. Now I return to
whether
the
you're
office,
consuming the
I'm
game into
fully
your
covered
mouth,
for video games.
into your mouthful mode, or whether you're vibing shapes on the outside. Yeah,
Yeah,
throwing mad shapes.
no, it's really good, and I'll probably talk about it more as the weeks go on and I play more of the game. But yeah, just starting out, I'm really enjoying it. I get why all the praise.
Okay.
It is, and it's a weird thing as well, because I spoke about last week when Tunic came out and we were talking about that and playing it on the Xbox, and I said that I'd probably play this game more if it came to Switch.
Yeah.
And I get that feeling with a lot of the smaller games. I go, oh yeah, this is cool. I play it on Game Pass. And I go, wish I had this on the Switch. And this is one of those times where an actual Nintendo game has come out for the Switch and you have to play it on the Switch and you can't play it anywhere else. And playing it, I go, oh, that's why I have a Switch. Yeah, this is really good.
I mean, I did enjoy the bits of the demo I played, and I quite liked that they've got bits that are tucked away, a bit like we were saying with Tunic last week, where you can't see it, but it's there, and you explore a little bit. There's a secret tunnel, and you can walk through and find another little secret bit. And I liked that element of it, but I'm glad to hear you say that it gets a little bit harder. And I've also heard that you can upgrade skills and stuff as you go as well, and there's a kind of upgrade path to that as well. But yeah, how does the level design evolve as you go through different worlds and stuff? Because I've seen quite a few. At the end of the demo, they show you a load of the different levels that you can play through and stuff as well. And does that sort of evolve, or is that sort of just you're in a different environment and it's a similar thing to the early part of the game?
I think that changes up more you progress. I mean, I'm still on everything's grassy and overgrown at the moment. I'm in the post-apocalyptic looking stuff.
Yeah.
Where we saw in the trailer with the shopping center and all that kind of stuff. But I'm assuming that changes further on.
Okay.
You get a little level over map kind of thing that you start off with. You pick your levels from there. A bit like the other Mario that is, I'm blanking on, the Wii U one.
Not Galaxy, the ones after that, yeah?
Yeah, I've completely forgotten. I picked it up.
I mean, everyone's forgotten
really
the Wii U, Coleman. I wouldn't blame yourself for that. So,
No, but they re-released it on the Switch with the Bowser's Fury. I've forgotten what it was.
Oh, Mario 3D something? Mario World?
Maybe. 3D World?
3D World, something like that. It was a very generic title. I'm not surprised we've both forgotten it. But
which is a shame because it was a good game. But yeah, it was an open world, and then you pick your levels from there. And then
the opening levels seem quite
quite
linear. Does that branch out a bit more as you get into it? Then?
No, they're regular linear type levels. That's why I like it. But then there are levels that are kind of like the shopping center again. There are parts of that where they will go, here's a room and here's 6 possible exits, and you can try work out where hidden things are, or there might be a hidden map somewhere to tell you where something specifically is. There might be a map going, oh, you should go this way, and then you'll find a missing section of the map if you keep looking about in the same room and go, actually, you want to go this way and find this thing instead. So there's things like that, and it's more. You can still complete the level if you go each and every way. But it's a bit like old school Mario, where if you take a specific way, you will unlock a secret. And that's what I like about this game, because they give little. You would have seen in the demo, when you finish a level, they give little mission tickers at the end.
Yeah.
They go, you need to find 10 Waddle Dees. You need to find. You
5
need to make
tulip
6
things,
flowers bloom. Yeah, eat a piece of invisible food and all these kind of things, and that's so there's a lot of replayability and going back. It's that mobile game thing of doing the 3 stars on an Angry Birds level or something, but not that, because I don't like that. But giving actual specific mission markers, that's what I enjoy. So it adds replayability in that way.
Also, as I assume you didn't play the demo, Mr. Coleman.
No, I downloaded it and I never got around to it.
Right, okay. Because for getting through the demo, it gives you a code that you can input into the Waddle Dee shop, maybe, or something shop. Some shop area thing in the game, or some
What'd you get?
upgrade thing. I don't know. You can go away and put it in and find out. But also our listeners can grab the code, because it's just a generic one-off code. It's not like specific to my playthrough or whatever, but it's just the word clear demo, all uppercase, if that makes any difference, but just clear demo, all as one word.
Oh, okay.
So
I'll do that then.
Yeah, put that in. I think I've remembered that correctly.
There is support of our favourite, the Amiibos.
Amiibos! Coleman's
But
got
it's
a
just-
chance to use Amiibos again. The world is healing.
Yeah, it does that thing the same as Mario. There's specific Amiibos you can use to get specific rewards, like speed boosts and things, but if you scan any Amiibo you've got whatsoever, it will give you some, extra coins or something in its place. But yeah, if you got Kirby specific ones, then your quid's in.
Good. Also, I'm glad that Kirby gets to wear hats, because I'm not sure that was a thing before. But Mario in Mario Odyssey basically stole Kirby's raison d'etre, or his moves in the whole putting on a hat and having a different skill. That wasn't a Mario thing before. Okay, he's occasionally done it with Tanuki suits and stuff like that. But having the whole just hat mechanic, that and being able to take skills off people that you've beaten and stuff like that, that was very much a Kirby thing, and Mario stole it. So I'm glad that Kirby's got back in on the act and going, all right, I can wear hats too. I'm going to wear hats. I can show you how to play the game. But yeah, anyway, I'm glad that Kirby has made a good game. Also, I heard a very interesting...
Kirby didn't make the game.
Okay, well, I did hear an interesting thing from the people that did make the game. But yeah, just interestingly, as this is the first 3D game and them adapting the style of gameplay to a 3D environment, one of the things they did, which I found really interesting, I don't know if this is something that's been done in other 3D games. I imagine there's other solutions that have been done, and possibly, and this comes into it an element. But one of the things they did was that if it visually looks to the player like a move would have made contact, then whether it made contact or not, they count it as making contact. It's difficult to explain, but they kind of showed it off. But in a 3D plane, if something was, too far into the screen for you to actually hit, but it looks like your sword is moving through them from the angle that you're seeing it, it counted it as a hit, even if it wasn't actually physically making contact. Which...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I just think just the little things like that made it an easier thing to kind of adapt his skills and his moveset to a 3D environment. I just found that quite interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the games we've been playing. Oh, sorry. If you didn't guess, Kirby, The Forgotten Land, that's another recommend from myself, I would say.
Okay, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Coleman. If you were picking up just one of the 2 Japanese-inspired games or Japanese-developed games that you were talking about this week, which one would you pick? Which one would you pick out of the 2? Because you seem to be pretty keen on both of them, and they are scratching slightly different itches and ticking different boxes and sucking different people. I don't know where I was going with that one, but you get my drift anyway.
Oh.
I was trying to give you more thinking time.
I'm not sure. I'll say, do you know what? I'll say Kirby just because I like having more handheld games than I have at the moment. And I like when they're, it's a big tentpole Nintendo game. We've not had one, we had Pokemon this year, but we
get several Pokemon every year these days, so doesn't seem so
kinda
special. It's nice to have a new Kirby game.
Yeah, we're in March, and we've had two first line Nintendo titles for the Switch this year. It's good because it's been quiet for a while.
I'm being quiet for a while now.
That's fair enough. So we'll move over to the news while you're being quiet for a while, because I tell you what, I'm gonna jumble up the order a little bit, because that does actually transition well into speaking of it being quiet for a while on Nintendo, Breath of the Wild, which was meant to be coming out this year, and which I've found very, very funny, because I've been watching a lot of the content creators I watch on YouTube that do video game content. At some point, they all do the obligatory, here are all the games I'm looking forward to this year. And they'll just go through every game coming out. They'll go, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Can't wait for this to come out in 2022. And every time I go, it's not coming out in 2022. You know this is getting delayed. How many times did the first Breath of the Wild get delayed? 7? I don't know. It got delayed a lot. So I knew this wasn't coming out this year. And true to that, the Nintendo, they went, hey, we've delayed it to spring 2023. But you did get some new footage of the game in return for the delay. So if you go have a look at the YouTube Nintendo channel, they put out new footage of Breath of the Wild 2, including, what's wrong with Link's hand? It looks a little bit Ganon-y.
Oh, Gammony.
Also on Gammony, yes, it's now delicious when it's been grilled with a bit of pineapple.
I mean, it's no great surprise to me. I mean, a lot of people were saying that they delayed it deliberately because otherwise, Elden Ring will get Game of the Year this year, and then Breath of the Wild's got 2023 all to itself. But yeah, I think that's a bit much. But yeah, I don't know whether to go back and play the first game. I'm not sure I care. I own it. I won't go into exactly why, but yeah, I own it and haven't played it, and I'm not sure if I should.
Well, if you own it, you should, because otherwise you're just throwing money in the bin, Tim.
Well, I technically didn't pay anything for it. I'll tell you what I paid for it after the show, because you'll laugh, but I'm not going to go into it in public, basically. But still.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dignity by the sounds of it.
Pretty much. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway. But yeah. I don't know if I care, basically. I never really cared. Someone gave it to me for free and said I should play it, and I still don't know whether I can be bothered to play it, especially considering the person that gave it to me.
I'd say give it a go, because it's, it won a lot of Game of the Year awards for a reason.
Yeah. I should probably play it just so I've got a, touch point.
An understanding
of it, and yeah.
I mean, I'd say, because this is one that I go back to, because I still haven't completed Breath of the Wild. I go back to it, and I keep trying to take down divine beasts and all that kind of stuff for anyone listening that understands what the hell that is. But it's one that I started playing and was blown away. Just went, this is amazing. And this is on a handheld that I can put on the TV.
I mean, everyone says that. It
does amiibo stuff.
It doesn't. Oh, that's why, because it's an amiibo thing. But no, it's just that visually, it just doesn't do it for me at all. Everyone's like, oh, it's beautiful. I'm like, it looks like arse. It looks like a Wii U game made in crayon. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it is a Wii U game. No, I think it's a good looking game. However, the resolution of a 720 game then stretched out on a 1080p screen or a 4K screen, it's not going to look terrific. However, on a handheld, I think it's a very handsome looking game. But then after playing something, say like Elden Ring, you're going to notice that it's a very big open world with a lot of stuff in it, which there's meant to be a reason to that. But yeah,
I like my open worlds dense, I tell you.
But I go through ebbs and flows with that game. I started it and went, wow, this is amazing, and then picked it up and went, wow, this is amazing, and then put it down and didn't go back to it for ages, and then went back to it. Really should play that Breath of the Wild, and then got really into it. So when I play it, I get really into that game, and then at some point I put it down and go, oh yeah, Breath of the Wild, I should go back to that. So
and then sit there and just cook things for 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Yeah, I did get to a point where I'd be on the tube cooking stuff and getting things prepped for me to go home and do the dungeon, that kind of thing. So that'd be fun. Also, on the kind of YouTube realm, there's been weird things going on with Bungie. So a lot of people that have been putting up Destiny 2 videos, be that gameplay or videos on music or long form content, anything like that, anything that included Destiny 2 content within their video, they noticed they've been getting a lot of copyright strikes all of a sudden on YouTube, and seemingly from Bungie. And a lot of complaining has been going on. And then Bungie finally spoke out last week and went, this isn't us. We've not been doing this. So after some looking into it, Bungie's come out and said, hey, you know what? We've got at least 10 people that have been anonymously putting these copyright requests through. Don't know if it's for a monetary reason or to screw over Bungie for whatever reason, but they've decided, hey, they're going to claim this as their own and they're going to cause a lot of problems for a lot of players. So Bungie have gone out their way to reverse a lot of these copyright claims, but also they are now taking legal proceedings against those people that have been filing DMCA takedowns. Now, you may think, how does someone do this? Very easily.
Yeah, a bit too easily.
I've had this case with Another World. I was playing Another World. I think it was actually a BigRedBarel one. We put that on our YouTube channel, and then about a week in, got a copyright strike, someone claiming that it was their video that we'd re-uploaded, and the way they could do that. I don't know if you've played Another World. A lot of those sections look, eerily similar because of cutscenes and things interspersed with the gameplay. So that will flag up someone who also has a YouTube playthrough and go, hey, someone's stolen your content. I go, oh, well, I'll take that down. So this stuff happens, and it's very easy to do that. And in this case, it's people going, hey, we're Bungie, but we're not. And putting in copyright claims that way. And all you really have to do is go, I will rip a trailer of Destiny 2 and I will re-upload that. And then if that cutscene is included in anyone else's video, it might flag up and go, hey, someone's stealing your video. And you can do it that way. So there is a big problem with YouTube's copyright system, and there has been for a very long time. So I'm hoping this is something that maybe finally gets them to reevaluate. I know that their algorithm's been changing again in our benefit, it seems this time, because we're actually getting more viewers.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Oh, and on that note, before I forget, because I forget every week, not to sound too much like a YouTuber, but please, if you are watching the YouTube version, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. No, but all those things do help. Maybe comment, say hello, come and, ask us a question on there as well. But yeah, if you can subscribe and like things, that does help us and does generally help drive their algorithm. And their algorithm is everything on that platform. So that's why everyone on that platform asks you to do that. So please do that, because we keep on forgetting. And as Coleman said, we had a nice bump this week. So it'd be nice to ride that wave and get a few more people tuning into the show on YouTube as well, basically. As Coleman puts in a lot of good work into making that show look good and stuff. Well, as best he can do with my face, but
I wouldn't say it's good work. It's debatable. We've got the big headlines. There's been an online subscription that has been announced this week, ready to rival other online subscriptions. So let's get into it. Rockstar has announced that they've brought out GTA Plus for GTA Online. Tim,
and are you excited? You are a resident GTA Online player person. Now that they've ruined your Avenging, are you going to be playing more GTA Online? And does that mean you're prepared to give them money every month to do so?
Tim, first they came for my Avengers and I said nothing. Then they came for my GTA Online and I said nothing. I tell you what, I'm so annoyed with this news. And it's because at the announcement of the PS5, they went, hey, GTA Online, free for PlayStation Plus subscribers for the first 3 months or whatever it is. And I was looking forward to this because I play GTA Online. I really enjoy GTA Online. I put a lot of hours into GTA Online. I'd be scared to look at how many hours that is. But on the PS4, as they've added more content to it, it started to chug a bit and it started to stutter. And then with the advent of 60 frames per second gaming on on PlayStation 5. I've found it near impossible to go back to GTA Online on the PS4. And because the game has been delayed, bringing it to PS5 constantly, I've had to stick with the PS4 version. However, what they've been doing in that time is going, each month we give you $1 million of in-game currency to add to your build. And I've gone, okay, so I load up the game, I claim my currency, and then I switch it off again. And I've done that every time. I'll go in there's a casino in the game now. I'll go in there, I'll get my free spin on the big wheel to see if I get any prizes. Sometimes I get extra cash, I do that, and then I log off. Sometimes I'll drive to go, am I still getting car sick? Yes, I'm still getting car sick. Okay, I'll wait for the full game. Now that GTA Online is out, I've been enjoying that in a buttery, smooth 60 frames a second, and really enjoying that and playing that with friends again. And it has been a ride, and it's been fun. And then immediately, I don't know, a week or 2 weeks after they bring it to the PS5, they go, hey, guys on the PS5 and on the Xbox Series S and X, good news. We're going to do GTA Plus. So if you pay £4.99 a month, we'll give you we'll give you not even $1 million, just under $500,000 each month.
Right.
And also you can have which is annoying because they've gone, you've been able to have $1 million a month for free every month. Now you have to pay £5 to get less than half of half of that.
This deal's getting worse all the time, Coleman.
Exactly. But also, they'll give you other freebies. So I think they give you a car and some bases and stuff that you'd ordinarily have to pay in-game for. Then there's discounts on any purchases that you make in the game, and then discounts on everyone's favorite, the shark cards that you have to purchase with real-world money. So there's these kind of... And then also the things that they're giving you in the game for the subscription, they're cycling those out. I don't know if that's every month, but they're cycling them out at some point. For £5 a month, dare I say it, if you're really into GTA Online and it's one of those games that you play every day, it might be worth it. However,
it still sounds like they're hunting whales, no? And I don't mean the country.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, it's scummy in the sense of, I understand it's a free game now, kind of. It's a free game if you're downloading it and you've got PlayStation Plus. However, this is, and at one point this was an add-on, an addition to GTA 5. In fact, I don't think they announced GTA Online until the full game of GTA 5 came out, or just before it or something. So for many people, this wasn't the reason they picked up GTA 5. This became the reason I'm picking up GTA Online on the PS5 and why I played it on the PS4 and all this kind of stuff instead of the PS3. But why I've carried on with the game. So I understand making money on what is technically kind of a free-to-play game in some form. Yeah. And the way they've done that is microtransactions. However, if you're like me, you've probably never bought a microtransaction for GTA Online because you've been doing the stupid amount of grinding, playing races and all this kind of stuff and building up your money that way and saving it up. And then eventually they just gave you money. But now there's a subscription cost to it. And unfortunately, it doesn't mean there's a subscription cost and they get rid of the microtransactions. It's a subscription cost.
You get the worst of both worlds.
Transactions. Well, it's now making the microtransactions look appealing by giving discounts on those microtransactions if you're paying for the subscription. So I don't know.
I was going to say, there's a running theme here as well, because we probably won't get time to go into it in full detail. Might save that for a rant in a future week when Dan's back on the show and can talk a bit more Gran Turismo 7 because he's just picked the game up. But there's a running theme here of games with GT in the title bribing you with 1 million credits to forget about the fact that they've messed up the whole economy, basically. And as I said, we'll go into it in more detail, but Gran Turismo 7 basically went, oh yeah, we've made everything harder and everything's worse. And this is after me complaining about it and after all the reviews went out, they balked the economy and went, oh yeah, everyone shut up, you get 1 million credits and we're giving you 100% more money. But as someone pointed out, I think it was Yongi that pointed out in a video, like the 100% increase, because you've reduced it by 66% before and then you've increased the one you've reduced by 100%, it's not actually back up to the full amount it was beforehand. So they've been a bit underhand with all of that, and I don't like that, and I don't like changing the deal after the game comes out, basically. That just seems a bit
Yeah.
bit underhand. And as you say, like, it's a bit better when you're doing it like in a free game and you're charging £5 a month. That's a bit more understandable. And as you say, there are people where they're playing Gran Turismo GTA online a lot, and that might be a good deal for them. But in the Gran Turismo side of things, like, we have not got a good deal. We've paid £70 for the game. In some cases, even more. My friend bought the special edition version and got like 1 million credits to start with. It's still not a great deal. There's like really expensive cars in there that cost like 12. I think there's now ones that are like 18 million. And you're spending like more than £100 to get a car, a digital car in a game. Like, that's not good value for money. It hasn't cost them that amount of money to produce that car in that game. It's just, yeah.
Was it GT Sport, the PS4 version?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are cars in GT Sport that you could buy as DLC that would be £4.99 a car, which in Gran Turismo 7 are $49.99 in real world cash
like
for the car, for a car.
That is ridiculous. But there's cars that will cost you. I think someone worked out that the £12 million car was £94 or £96. I forget exactly which, and that means that the 18 million car is 1.5 times that price. Even, you know what I mean? So that's like 150 quid for a car. Like, what? What are you? And like, the other comparison that people have made is that the similar cars are being sold in Horizon for a much cheaper price, and the base game of that, if you've got Game Pass, is essentially free. Like, and like
nothing.
Well, the £70 upfront cost. Like, that's just not good. Like, it's not a good look for Sony at the moment at all. But hey,
yeah, I think I heard it best on Giant Bombcast this week when they described it as, it's like they really, really wanted a live service game, but designed by people that have never made a live service game.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like.
And I say, welcome to Avengers. They broke my game, Tim.
Oh, no. Well, they broke
my boy.
They balked mine as well. Didn't entirely break. Well, they did break it. That's why we got the 1 million credits, because it was down for 30 hours. That's the other thing. Like, I don't know if it's the same with Avengers, but there's DRM in it, basically. You can't play the single-player content without being connected online. So when they have server problems...
Oh, I don't know if that's the case.
Yeah, when they have server problems, you can't even play the single-player content. And the only reason for that is because they're protecting their economy from people hacking their economy, because they know their economy is so crappy that people will do that to get revenge. Anyway, yeah.
That was hilarious, where the game that people have paid 70 plus pounds on went down for 2 days within a month of its launch, like 2 weeks of its launch.
But yeah, and because they instigated an update that was trashing the economy after the reviews. Like, you couldn't write a worse. Anyway, that, as I said, we'll possibly come back to that when Dan comes back. But I am not happy about that at all. I'm mad as hell.
I'm not taking it anymore.
But it's as I said with
my boy, look what they've done to my boy.
As I said with the review, it's a real shame, because the actual driving, I'm still really enjoying. It's still a really enjoyable driving game. Just the economy in that is just so elitistly broken and horrible that I don't like to support it.
I saw a physical version of the game on the cheap and did consider buying it, but the more I see about it, the more I'm put off by it, because I can imagine, much like the GTA Online thing, where I say, if some people play this game every single day, and it's it might seem worth it to pay a subscription, microtransactions and earning the grind and all that kind of stuff. It seems like a game you would have to put a lot of time into to get into it. But I don't put a lot of time into driving games. I play them and go, yep, I've had my fun, and then I stop. I very rarely complete a driving game. And GT is the only reason I stick with Forza for so long, is because they're just fun and colourful.
It's easier to pick up and play, basically.
Yeah. Gran Turismo, I go, wow, that looks like a real car, and that's my fun. So hey ho. I did like the comparison of the two openings as well, where it's like this history of racing, very serious kind of monochrome looking thing in GT, and then you go Forza Horizon, and you're parachuting cars out of a helicopter, coloured smoke popping out with this cool soundtrack blaring. I was like, Yeah, I kind of see where the Xbox guys are coming from.
Yeah,
now.
I mean, Horizon particularly, in the Forza universe, but Horizon very much is the Fast and Furious of driving games, whereas like.
And they made a Fast and Furious driving game at one point.
But like Gran Turismo is very much the kind of documentary about F1 and even more boring things kind of thing. I mean, like it's kind of yeah. Anyway, but yeah.
I still remember me and my friends doing Le Mans in real time on PS2, and that was the stupidest thing in a video game we've ever done. Because why would you do that?
Well, they said that's one of the things that they're like promised in the pipeline for Gran Turismo 7 is they've got like hour-long endurance races they're going to add. I'm like, I don't want that. I had like a 10-minute thing where I did a whole 10 minutes and then crashed on like the second to last corner. Like everyone overtook me. And I'm like, oh God, I got to do that whole race again. Oh no. I don't want to do that for an hour.
I like that. Do you want to do a 24-hour race? No, I've got stuff to do. No. I'm an adult now. Yeah. I'm not 20 at 4 o'clock in the morning going, let's do a 24-hour race. Yeah. That's a good idea. No. Yeah. Anywho, right, the real online subscription we were meant to be talking about. So there's been rumblings about this for a long time. PlayStation, and they seemingly went, hey, we know about Game Pass. We got our eye on it. We've got we're cooking up a something. And that led to speculation. And then was it Spartacus?
Yes.
Spartacus was
I am Spartacus.
We learnt the Spartacus working title, and more speculation, more chins are wagging, tongues are wagging, chins are flapping, all that kind of stuff, and what this could be. And then at the start of this week, or the end of last week, we got a rumblings of, PlayStation are ready to announce what Project Spartacus is.
Can't be bothered to make a video about it, though.
Yeah, and we went, so we're getting a state of play this week.
Yeah.
No, you're getting a blog post on Tuesday.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
So weird. But anyway.
It shows they don't care or aren't very proud of it. Or it seems that way anyway. It comes across.
Yeah, but this is, as they have called it, the all-new PlayStation Plus subscription.
It's not all new though, is it? The first tier is literally exactly the bloody same. It's partly 2/3 new.
And I don't know about Xbox competitor. This looks like they went, right, what they actually said when they went, we know about this subscription gaming thing that you've been talking about, you lot, and we're coming for you, Nintendo. That looks like what they're doing.
What if we did the Nintendo option at the Xbox price? Hey? You're like, no!
So bizarre. So if you don't know, PlayStation Plus will now be a 3-tier system. You'll have PlayStation Plus Essential, which is basically the same thing you're already doing. You'll get, I think it's 2 free games a month, free games included in the price. So whenever I say, I'll get that out of the way now, whenever I say free games, I mean included in the price. You get 2 monthly downloadable games, you get discounts, you get your save game cloud storage, and access to online multiplayer. So it's PlayStation Plus with 1 less game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have a question. That's not the same as it was. That's worse. This deal's getting worse all the time again, Coleman. Like, it's 2 games, and it's at the moment it's like 3 and a bit, because occasionally they do 3, and then they go, and have a VR game, because we've forgotten about that for 6 months.
Yeah, so I think what this is meant to be, at the moment, we have 2 PS4 games, 1 PS5 game.
Yeah.
Much like when they were transitioning to PS4, we used to get 1 PS4 game and however many PS3 games.
And I think you got to put PS5 in inverted commas as well, because it's a PS5 game-ish.
Yeah, now we're getting 2 PS5 games instead of PS4 games.
Okay.
I think.
They haven't clarified that.
That seems to be what they're getting at, though. So I would assume that's 2 PS5 games. But then everything else the same. So fair enough if we're now completely moving over to PS5 games. They did the same. We used to get 2 Vita games, 2 PS3 games, and a PS4 game. Then it just turned into we're getting 3 PS4 games, 2 PS4 games, or whatever it is. The other stuff that they do on top of it, they used to go, we got free games because of lockdown. We started getting promotions where they added games, and I don't think they were included in PS Plus. They were just outright given.
Yeah, that you didn't have to have PS Plus to access them, basically. Yeah, so they were for everyone.
Yeah, and then the PlayStation VR thing, that was to celebrate like the 4-year anniversary or however long the PSVR had been out.
I literally think someone went, how long is it since we gave away a PSVR game? We were supposed to be doing that every month. oh, sugar, we've only got 3 of them for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
How about we just keep 3 of them up for 6 months and hope nobody notices? Make them good games. Okay, fine. But yeah.
I think they did 2 of them at some point to go, hey, PSVR's out and the sales have started to dip, so we'll try get them back up again by giving away games, which works. And then recently it was more like we're celebrating the PSVR by giving away some of the now cheaper titles that are extremely, the biggest games. And that could have been a little bit more, let's keep the name in the zeitgeist because we have a PSVR 2 around the corner, which at that point they hadn't announced yet as well. So it could have been along those lines. Anyway, that's tier 1. That is PlayStation Plus Essential.
It's a good thing they called them tiers because every level of this makes me cry a bit more.
So if you have PlayStation Plus, I'm assuming that's what you'll automatically get transferred over to in June, so, I want to say, when this comes out.
You'll get 1 less game. Welcome to PlayStation Plus Essential. Great.
Hey, I will take 2 PS5 games over 2 PS4 games and a PS5.
Right, but everything they've spoken about the next 2 tiers hints at the fact that we're not getting any of the PS5 games that I want, i.e. Returnal, Demon's Souls, stuff like that, basically.
Maybe so. So the second tier is called PlayStation Plus Extra. So this includes all the essential benefits, plus adds a catalogue of around 400 PS4 and PS5 games that can be downloaded anytime if you're a member. And that includes first-party and third-party games. That's going to be £10.99 a month, or $31.99 quarterly, or $83.99 yearly. What I'm assuming that is PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Now. Put your hands together. Yeah. Boom. We got a PlayStation Plus Extra.
But that 400 number came with an asterisk, as does the next number on the next thing. And I didn't see them specify what that asterisk entailed. I'm guessing that's 400 eventually at some point, but possibly not 400 at launch. And also maybe not 400 in the region that you're currently in, possibly. I mean, we'll probably be all right in that, but generally. But yeah.
Yeah, there might be geographic restrictions, but also it might be a case of we've got this game on the PS4 and this game on the PS5. Both versions are up.
Yeah, so that counts as 2 different things. Yeah. One of them might work better, Coleman, but anyway.
I might go for that because of the downloadable service, but there you go. The third tier is PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it depends what they've got because I'm finding that a lot of the games. I mean, especially when do you remember when they did the PlayStation Plus collection for PS5? And they went, here's a bunch of games for PS4 that work brilliant with the PS5. And I think 2 of them I didn't have because I had no interest in them, and everything else I already own.
I was like, I might finally download Days Gone because Coleman liked that, even though the rest of the world didn't like it very much.
Love it.
I'd rather they made another siphon filter, but anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Ghostwire Tokyo. It's my Days Gone of the PS5, I think. Anyway, PlayStation Plus. I need to go back and get that last trophy. PlayStation Plus Premium is the third tier. This includes everything that the previous 2 tiers include and adds 340 extra games in their catalogue that include PlayStation 1, 2, and PSP games for streaming and download. PS3 games will also be available, but they will only be available to stream, which I'm hesitant towards.
Because they haven't put a cell processor in your PS5, unfortunately.
Yeah, PlayStation find PS3 notoriously hard to emulate, even though they made it.
Idiots!
I've always found that very funny. So I get when people online go, oh, this new engine, it can emulate everything, but it struggles a bit with N64, or it struggles with Yoshi's Island on Game Boy Advance. I get that kind of stuff. But this is a PlayStation console that PlayStation need to emulate. So, however, they're going to be doing streaming. That's why I'm hesitant towards it, because it's, Game Pass is a brilliant bit of kit. However, I struggle to get that to work on my home Wi-Fi, and PlayStation don't like you using their streaming stuff on third-party software a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah.
So, for instance, you can control your PS5 through your phone. However, you need to do it through a DualSense or DualShock controller, and I don't think you can do it external, like on outside. You need to be on the same network as your console. So I find a third-party solution to do that. Oh, and also they don't let you use like the Razer Kishi, which I love.
Right, yes, because that's your go-to. Yeah,
your phone. Yeah. So my way around that is using, I think it was £5 PS Play, it's a lot of setup to do, but you can play that externally using other people's Wi-Fi or your 5G or whatever. So I need to see what this service entails for streaming as well, because like I say, I've got decent internet, I've got decent 5G, but Game Pass stutters on both of them, and I don't know why. And I've still not been able to figure this out.
Okay.
You know, it's very hit and miss, and that could be the same with PlayStation, who don't own the same technologies as Microsoft do.
See, you said about like the PlayStation Plus Extra being the one that you're attracted to, and initially I thought that, but then I thought, hang on, no. Like I, as you say, I own most of the PlayStation, especially in the era of PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I own most of the first-party exclusives that I want. I even own most of the PS3 ones. But like, if there's no like ability to be able to, you know, get the games that I already own in the same way there is with the not necessarily Game Pass, but with the Microsoft ecosystem. If you own a game, you can pop the disc in and play that game on your Xbox and all that type of stuff. Like, that seems a much more consumer friendly kind of thing. The problem with the PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium things is that it's only really the premium one I'm interested in because I own all the first party games already. And then, like, perhaps we're in a privileged position where we own more than most people would, but I think most PlayStation fans will be in a similar position, and they're most interested in the PS1, PS2, and PSP games. But they've put that behind a paywall that is now a higher amount than Game Pass every month, and you're not getting the same deal as you get with Game Pass. You're getting a worse deal. You're not getting access to games you already own for free forever, and you're not getting access to first-party titles day and date. You're also not getting access to PS3 games that you can download, and you're not getting access to PS Vita games because it's got a touchscreen and they can't really be bothered to convert the games. I'm like, you've got a touchpad on the bloody pad. What are you talking about? You can convert almost everything to that. Like, okay, there's some touchscreen stuff that you might have to adapt, but it's like they want the money for not even doing the prerequisite work for getting that sort of stuff. And someone suggested, I think it might have been on Giant Bomb, that they just put up the ones that they whitelisted for PSTV or whatever it was and stuff like that. And maybe that's
PAL versions.
maybe that's something that can come. I don't know, but it just seems like I cannot see the value proposition of doing this. Also, when the Xbox streaming stuff works quite well, if this whole thing they're talking about here when they're talking about streaming is just PS Now and they're not doing anything to update the Gaikai technology that they bought like a decade ago that has time and again proven to be not as robust and as good as Xbox's offering is now, then you're offering at every stage, you are offering an inferior product, an inferior offering for more money. And how did you think this was a good idea? Like, for me, there should be two levels. There should be the essential thing and going, okay, we're downgrading you a little bit, but there's this essential level and we're hopefully, you know, upgrading the games that come to that. But I can't see them doing that when they've talked about the games at the premium level. I'm not sure if it's extra or premium, but at that sort of level being games like Returnal and games like I don't even know they've mentioned Demon's Souls in that. I think they might have done. If those games aren't coming to the essential level, then we're getting a worse deal for essential than we got in the previous generation. And I think that at worst, they should be offering their premium offering should be at the extra price. Like, as in, it should be $10.99 a month for everything that they're offering here, and they should be just lumping in PlayStation Now. And I think they've made a rod for their own back in the fact that PlayStation Now has probably got a number of subscribers of people that are just giving them money and have almost forgotten about it, and they don't want to rock that boat too much. But, yeah, exactly, like you. But I think this will have that effect anyway, because I think this is going to annoy people, and people that were giving them money for the PlayStation Now stuff will go, hang on a second, that's not as good a deal. And okay, again, we might be in a privileged position where we've got access to both consoles, but I can't see how anyone in the position of having both consoles could look at this and go, well, that's as good a deal as Game Pass. And okay, Game Pass is perhaps a deliberately stacked deck. You know what I mean? It is deliberately set up to be disruptive, to be hard to match, and to be a thing. But Microsoft have proved that business model can work. And the other thing that a lot of people are saying is, oh, well, at least Sony will get like the third-party stuff. And again, I might be in an overly privileged position where someone on PlayStation, this could be great news to you because you're getting a Game Pass-like service, and the third-party games that are coming to Game Pass, but the third-party games are coming to Game Pass will probably day and date now come out on one of these PlayStation services. Whether it's extra or premium remains to be seen. But that actually is worse for someone in our position. In the position where you have both consoles, it's now like if you do get both services, it's kind of devaluing Game Pass because the things that are coming on third party, now you're like, well, and I can see, you know, they're from a business sense, they want to make it so it's competitive and possibly taking away from Game Pass. I can understand that. But from a consumer perspective, you're making PlayStation Plus worse, you're making Game Pass worse, and you're trying to charge me a premium price for an inferior service. So I am not happy at all about this offering. So, yeah, in case I managed to disguise that.
That's fair enough. The big thing missing that PlayStation don't have over Xbox is launching first-party games.
Yeah.
It is a problem. And I know that the first comment that came out about this was in some interview where they've said, well, you know, we feel that if we start doing that, then it's going to reduce the quality of the first party games. And like, no, look at what Xbox are doing. They aren't reducing the quality of, you know, Forza. Hey, all right, Halo, they've reduced the quality of by not finishing it.
Yeah, well, but you can, right, I think you can make that argument, especially with Halo and especially with a few other things, that it might not have necessarily taken effect now, but down the line it could. Like, I think there are games coming to Game Pass that don't have to be as big a game and don't have to be as big a game on day one as they were. Now, that might suit studio development and that might actually suit things, and I don't actually think that's the worst thing in the world. But I do think it could, there could be an argument that, and I don't know if you saw, but Weird West came out today, which is a game I've been looking forward to a little bit. I can't remember the name of the studio, but previously developers with Arcane that have gone out and done their own thing. And that's come out to middling reviews and a few people,
middling to low reviews.
Yes, and saying that it doesn't feel like it's an entirely finished, polished game, possibly, is some of the criticisms. I don't know, that's entirely fair. I might investigate that this week, but again, got quite a lot on my hands. Maybe won't pick that up now, possibly. But yeah, I think it's a strange, like, they took a long time to come up with this answer, and I don't think they came up with a very good answer, basically. I don't think it's good for consumers.
Yeah, it's not. This is why I make the Nintendo comparison.
Yeah.
It seems like what they're banking on the new PlayStation Plus systems are old games. And I know it's been a big selling point. A lot of people have been screaming out for PS1, PS2, PSP games, you know, all the back PS3 games, all the back catalog. Where I'm at with this is, so I like the idea of PlayStation. I've always liked the idea of PlayStation now. As soon as they said, hey, we're not doing streaming anymore, you can download as well as stream. So we're not solely relying on streaming. Good. Because the UK is not fully equipped for full streaming video games yet. It will one day.
Even with a good internet connection, I don't think that the PS Now service is that great anyway. Yeah.
But downloading the games, that makes it a much more appealing type of thing for me. However, the games that they add there, because they add them in so late, the likeliness is I already got the ones that I want on the PS4. And that's the same for and then the appeal of PS3 games. I think everything that came out on the PS3, I either played it on the PS3 and I've had my fill, and now 2 generations later, it doesn't look as good in my head when I start playing it. Or they've ported it or remade it.
They're going to be remasters. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, stuck it
Demon
on the PS5.
Souls.
They do all that
the main thing to play on the PS3 for me. And the one thing I have thought of, though, even though I'm guessing PSP games are going to look like arse on my 4K TV, but Pursuit Force. Was it Pursuit Force that was on the PSP? I haven't played that since PSP days. I think it was called Pursuit Force. It's the one where you like jumped around from cars as a cop.
Right.
I may be misremembering the name. Anyway, but yeah, like there's a few games on the PSP that I haven't played for years that I'd be quite excited to play possibly. But again, that puts me in the premium tier, and I don't want to pay £13.49 a month for that. Anyway, yeah, I won't go down that tangent again. But yeah.
But then and then the further you go back, like the PS2 games, the ones that I want, they've been remade, they've been remastered, they've been re-added to stores and stuff, and I've picked them up, or I still own them and I can play them on my PS2 that is still functioning. You know, PS1 games. There's not many PS1 games I'd want to play now because the ones that are in my head, that I go, that was a really good game. Yeah, BigRedBarel was great. You boot it up and go, oh, this doesn't play as well as I remember it, or it doesn't look as well as I remember it because you've got the whole rose tinted glasses type thing. But also, you know, you can play that. You can get a ROM of a game that you've wanted to play and then go, that's not good.
Yeah,
let me improve the textures and things through mods and stuff. Right, this game plays lovely now. Things, They're not going to do that.
No.
I need to see what improvements they're going to make on these games.
I don't think they can make anything.
I've got a handful of UMDs. Yeah, it's not. The problem is it's all polygonal type games from the past. And the ones that I'm really interested in revisiting, they're not going to do. They're not going to stick Buster Groove 1 and 2 on there. They're not going to stick flipping Evil Zone on there. They're, you know, the niche stuff
like stuff really like Res I can play in VR. Why would I go back to the original game that looks worse and isn't available in VR?
Well, Res re-released for both systems.
Yes,
re-released on that was a PS2 re-release. Oh, sorry, that was a Dreamcast game re-released for the PS2, re-released for the PS3, re-released for the PS4, re-released for PSVR.
Yes, but that's the thing. That's been their approach for so many years that it undervalues their past library because either it's a game not enough people cared about for them to remaster it, or they've remastered it. Like there's, you know what I mean? Like
Whereas when you compare that to, and again, this isn't like Game Pass, this is like Nintendo Online. And when you compare it to the titles on offer on Nintendo Online, the majority of those are 2D pixelated titles. So they stand the test of time because they still look good now as they did then. Whereas when you get these polygonal, really old school games from the 90s, they don't age as well.
Yeah.
So that's why to me it's not as valuable an offer.
Also, I just remembered there's a load of games that just won't work that I loved in those eras as well, like Time Crisis. All the light gun games won't work properly and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's just endless problems. But yeah, not good. Not a good answer, I'm afraid. Well, also, I don't know if you saw, but like there were heavy rumors that there's going to be a couple of other bits of news coming out of PlayStation this week, possibly to cover up the fact that they embarrassingly hurried out this blog post and kind of, you know, hoped it swept this whole thing under the rug because they're obviously not very proud of their offering with good reason, but there hasn't really been any of that news emerging. I don't know if it's going to come out this Friday because we're recording on Thursday, so it might be out by the time this podcast comes out. I don't know what it can be. I'm speculating it might be more PSVR 2 news, possibly.
Maybe.
And yeah,
just before the weekend, it was rumored we were getting 3 big announcements, including Spartacus, and so far it's just Spartacus as at the time of recording. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens going forward. But as I look at the clock, and Dan's probably shouting at me from afar, telling me to hurry up and wrap up, and you're doing a very bad job hosting, Mr. Coleman.
You didn't rein me in, Coleman. You didn't rein me in.
I did not. I'm a terrible Hibs wrangler. Just like I'm only a good Hibs wrangler at live events where I have to go over there and talk to that one. We know this person at this company, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Good PA, not a good wrangler. Anyway, before we leave, we're going to skip a couple of things, but we will give the charity spotlight because it's the same one as last week. Catch 1 million to conquer kids cancer for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. You can go to catchamillion.com for more information, but this is basically going to be a 7-day marathon, which Twitch streamers are challenged to catch a million Pokemon, to fundraise for St. Baldrick's Foundation. And I really love the idea of this. 7 days of just Twitch streaming Pokemon, just going mad, trying to catch Pokemon. And it doesn't, they're not going, we're all going to do Pokemon Arceus, or we're not all doing, Sword and shit. Yeah, it varies. You
Yeah.
can stick whatever Pokemon game you want on and get out there and catch some Pokemon. So
Gotta catch
once
a
again,
million
that is
of them
catch 'em-
all. All of the million.
Yeah. Once again, that is catchamillion.com if you want to take part yourself or just find out what the heck is going on, because this is a very intriguing event, I think. But yes, they want to raise they want to raise $1 million to fund research worldwide. This is to go towards raising awareness for treatments, for lots of different things to do with the St. Baldrick's Foundation and charity treatment all over the world. So that is a great thing. That is a great worthy cause, and a really fun-looking event by the sounds of it. So
Yep.
I'm
For a good
looking forward
cause
to
as well.
this.
So
I think that's the. Yeah, I think that is the 24th of April that is kicking off. So yeah, you got time to
go
prepare.
support that.
Anyway,
I want to very quickly sneak
As
something
well
in
as
because it's the last chance for us to do. I know we're running long and you'll hate me for it, Mr. Coleman, but
I will hate you for it.
WASD, WASD is an event that's being put on by the previous organisers of Rezzed and EGX. And yeah, it's in Tobacco Dock. It's my favourite venue for a gaming event of the year. It's a good chance to meet indie devs and some creators and stuff that will be there to show off their games. Go and check out some more details on their site. I believe it's wasd.com, maybe .co.uk. I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe double check while I fill for time, Mr. Coleman. But yeah, it's a really good event. It's really fun. Part of the reason that I'm keen to go to this one more than anything else is Tobacco Dock is a good venue because it is half outside. So I'm thinking that might be a bit more safe in COVID times. I'm also trusting them to hopefully put good measures into place. I would say make sure you wear a mask. I don't know that they're necessarily saying that is necessary, but I'm saying it is, and I will be wearing a mask. Also bring some hand sanitizers for touching pads and things. But yeah, always a good event. It's obviously a bit PC themed, I'm guessing, which was always a kind of case with Rezzed. And with WASD, that's obviously a little bit of the case. But I'm a console gamer. I'll be going along. I encourage other people to do the same. I'm not sure what days I'll be there yet because of work and stuff. I'd prefer to go on the Friday where it's a bit quieter. It is on the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday, I believe. So if you go to the Thursday and Friday, they tend to be the quieter days for these sorts of events. So yeah, try and pop along to that. And yeah, support them in their event as well. They are the people that have been putting stuff on for a number of years, and I trust them to put on a good event. So this is why, even though I'm a bit scared with all the stories coming out of GDC of people coming back with COVID, this is one that I'm keen to at least pop along to for some amount of time, and so possibly go and support them and do that as well.
That's WASD. You can find it at wasdlive.com.
There you go.
Where you can get your tickets and go to the event and play such amazing games as Days Lost, Death's Door, Ember, Golf with Your Friends, Golf Gang, Hell Pie.
There's a few golf games there as well.
I Am Fish, Inscription, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Kiwi, Loop Hero, Monstrum 2. Is this announcer voice doing anything for you?
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
Although I can't remember the name of the golf.
Shadow Warrior 3.
There's a golf game.
Scathe.
What was the other golf game?
I read out two. Is it What the Golf?
No. That looks okay.
No,
that looks good. But
Golf Gang, and Golf with Your Friends I have here.
okay, there's another golf. There's at least 4 golf games there then. They are announcing more every day as well. So go along and check out their Twitter page and other social media things, Facebook and stuff. But yeah, they're announcing more games every day, so check that out and see if there's something you want to pop along and have a look at there.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Ooh.
WWE 2K22.
Ooh,
Go kick Tim's ass.
I'll get some practice before I have to wrestle you, eh?
2 Point Campus. See if I find a good one here. For the King. Coffee Talk. Episode 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly.
I believe
Card Shark.
they announced this week that the Coffee Talk developer sadly passed away. So commiserations to him if that's the case. I believe that's the right game. But yeah, I don't know if that game will be there with that in mind. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, yeah. Just, yeah.
It's still on the lineup. And do you know what else is on the lineup, Tim?
What's that?
Football Manager 2022.
Good old
I think
SI
that's
games.
enough. There's more you can find over on WASD Games.
That reminds me,
WASDlive.com.
Yeah, you didn't do your homework this week, Coleman, did you? You didn't play Football Manager, did you? Did you? I know you had some.
I've been busy.
I know you had your hands full with games. This week, maybe. You still probably got games to play, but I won't let you off the hook entirely. 1 week.
I had 2 of the freshest new fresh games to play in time and get capture for and edit pre-ready for this show, Tim.
That's why I'm letting you off. I'm just saying I'm not letting you off completely forever. That's all.
So it's all right for you. You get to sit down, stick some headphones on, turn a computer on, complain that the computer's weird because it's a PC and you're used to using Macs, and then just record for an hour, usually, and this time record for an hour and a half, and then that's it. It's done for you.
Well,
I got to edit this till like 2 a.m. I got to get all the footage capture ready for this.
You still haven't played Rise, and I haven't forgotten that either, all right? That doesn't just mean you can...
I've played Rise.
Did you?
Yeah, go have a look at my game history on Xbox. You'll find it perfectly lines up to when a disc of Rise was passed to me one day. I went, yeah, it's all right. But it's not funny if I go, yeah, this game's all right. It's better if I just keep going, oh, this is the worst game ever made on the Xbox.
Best launch game on Xbox One.
Worst game ever made, ever. Anywho.
You could yell at the Kinect and it would do stuff, Cole.
I mean, I can yell at you and you can do stuff.
Doesn't work as well.
Not really a crowning achievement. I mean, a friend of the show, Ed, gave me Hulk Hogan's All-Star Wrestling for the Kinect or whatever it was. And you can shout at that and that'll do things, allegedly. Hulk Hogan shouts things and then he gets cancelled.
Good.
Yeah.
Someone should shout at Hulk Hogan.
Anyway, this has been episode 484 of BRB UK for this week. Thank you very much for listening. We shall return next week, hopefully with a Dan in tow. I mean, hopefully with the rest of him, not just his toe.
Not just his toe.
But we'll see what happens. Yeah, it depends how bad of a work week
his
he is.
Toes can't. Ahoy.
I have been Coleman.
I might have been Tim, and there might be no one here as a third person to follow that up.
Well, you can have a Dan Sandboard.
Oh, okay. Sandboard.
What's a good one?
Hey, buddy.
Oh, he's back.
Entropy.
Good.
Eating my dust.
You can like blast other people's balls.
Ding dong.
I've got quite a big head.
Well, that's your Dan fix-in for the week.
Hey.
Anyone that was missing Dan will hopefully have the
good
real thing
slap
back
it,
next
actually.
week. But hey.
No, Dan, stay away from Jada Pinkett Smith.
Oh, good slap.
We managed to get through the whole show.
Well, I just put 2 and 2 together when I saw it on the board.
I'm not a man.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Dan, watch out. Here comes Will Smith.
I do like the beatings, though. With your missive dick.
My name's Daniel. I'm 14 years old. I burnt Chrissy up in the first round, and the rest of you are going to be left eating my dust.
And on that bombshell, dear listeners, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you next time. I mean, you'll see us. Unless you're listening to the audio version, then you'll hear us. We won't see you or hear you. That's not how this works. But you can let us hear your thoughts over on BigRedBarel.com. Also, we have a link on our Discord, Facebook.com/BigRedBarel, Twitter.com/BigRedBarel. All those links available in the show notes for this here episode. So for whatever means you are listening, have a look at the links. There'll also be links available to the catchamillion.com as well. So, and also WASD Live. Why not? I'll stick it all in there.
It's
They'll
all
all be
in there.
available in the show notes.
And don't
So, well
forget
done,
to
you.
like, subscribe, and smash that bell. I don't know why you have to smash the
Smash
bell.
that,
Why do you have to
like,
smash it? Why can't you just
Smash
press it?
ring-a-ling, the ding-a-ling,
Ding-a-ling-a-ling
and all that
dong.
stuff. And thank you. Yes. Anyway, right, now we've got to go. Goodbye.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcasts, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.
So I'm trying to make our episode number 483 relate to the fact that I finally managed to get hold of a PS5. Well, I say finally managed to get hold of it. It it's somewhere
downloading.
So it's pending.